Hey friends, what's up? Philip here with Points of Philip, and then we also have, as always, the wonderful, incredibly talented Daniel from Card Smarter. Daniel, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much, my friend. Happy to be here. Always got a card smarter, not harder. And I'm really excited to
I love
talk
that.
about some really fun things that you got planned for us. So, yeah, let's get started.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, the conversation today is because we all know there was a huge B word that just renounced a bunch of stuff, and a few people had a couple of emotions about it. And but I think one of the most interesting things that happened out of that whole announcement was this new kind of iteration of this idea of Bilt cash. And a couple of the videos that I was in, I was talking about it as being kind of a choose your own adventure for coupons, because despite the fact that these cards they technically come with coupons, but instead they give you Bilt cash, and then you kind of choose how you want to redeem that Bilt cash. And so I don't know, it just, when you look at the list, it's kind of like frustrating, like, oh well, like I'm never going to use this and this and this, but that $200 in Bilt cash that you get a year, I think, with the Palladium card, that's not terribly difficult to use if you kind of pick one or two. What was your reaction to the whole Bilt cash situation?
I went from really excited to really frustrated really quickly. I think the day before, Stefan and I were talking about all three of the cards, and we were like, this is too good to be true. This is going to be absolutely wild. How can a credit card issuer, or how can just a bank, or how can Bilt give somebody 2x catch-all for everything and also give 4% Bilt cash? So we were thinking about like the possibilities of like, oh, as long as it's through the Bilt app or through the Bilt portal, like we're good.
Mhm.
And we're like, I'm going to get a flight here, I'm going to get a flight there, like we can stack it with hotels, like look at all these benefits, things like that.
Right.
But we had no idea that they were going to essentially take what American Express has created and just chop it at the knees, if you will. Like, had no clue
Yeah.
that they were just going to undercut the entire premise of these credits, where I can't even get a berries class for me and my girlfriend. Can't even do it. I can only get a berries class for one person. Like, I was in
Oh
Anthony's
man.
channel and I was just going off. I was like, I cannot believe it. Like, I was talking to Lena like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, you're never gonna believe this. Like, Bilt's gonna change the game. Like, we're gonna have like Hyatt points, we're gonna have United points, we're gonna go to berries classes. Like, we're trying to lose weight. So every Sunday we're gonna
Right.
go to berries, and here we go. Berries for one.
There we go. Berries for
Yeah,
one. All right.
berries for one. So
That's
sad.
amazing. Yeah, yeah, the Bilt cash is kind of weird, right? And I actually just did a members only video today where I discussed kind of why we actually care about Bilt points, right? Because that's kind of
Mm.
the whole point, like what you said with Hyatt and with Atmos and all those sorts of things. If you want to join the membership, join the channel membership, there's a link in the description below if you're on mobile. And anyway, please do that if you'd like to. But anyway, yeah, like, so basically you have all of these reasons to use these Bilt cards, but they come with a lot of different math equations. You got to figure out, do you want to do the Bilt cash version? Do you want to just give me the points version? Which one of the three cards do you have to pick? And then you got to pick, okay, do I want to go $10 to Lyft this month, or do I want to go $10 to Grubhub this month? And it's like there's a lot of kind of decision trees here that I think get really, really complicated.
Yeah, I think when you really boil down to all of this, I now, as an American Express fanboy, I'm sure that's both you and me, but I truly
Yeah.
understand how people feel when they say, this is too complicated. I don't like the credits.
Right.
It's not worth it. Like, effective annual fee is just out the window. First, I don't even know how they were able to like get these partnerships. I guess that's another like interesting topic. Like, how did we even get here?
That's
But
true.
I've never looked at it from the outside looking in and have been more frustrated for something. So I now truly understand what everybody looking outside of American Express, or when they had the Sapphire Reserve and they had like the easiest credits in the world, where it's just like a
Mhm.
$300 travel credit and just everything is just set it and forget it. So I know what that feels like, and it's very frustrating. I mean, it's also like there are
Yeah.
exciting moments when Stefan and I were talking about the cards. We didn't talk about Bill Cash nearly as much as we could have or should have, but that's because we didn't know what was down the pipeline.
Right.
I believe, like you said, the cards themselves are very exciting. I think having a 2x catch-all plus anything on rent is very exciting. However,
Hmm.
in order to get your maximum rent points, like it was significantly nerfed. But I think,
Yeah.
yeah, it just, I wouldn't say revolutionized what credits are, because I wouldn't even consider these credits. It's just options on how to use
Yeah.
the that you get, like your monopoly money, as you like to say. So
Yeah, no, and I think that's an interesting kind of way we need to think about it, right? Because is this Bilt Cash list of redemptions, is it a credit or is it not? And like, so historically, right, when we take a look at the coupon book, it's American Express, like with the gold card, right? You got to check that box at Dunkin' every month. You got to check that box at Grubhub every month. And you have to check that box with Uber Eats, right? And so you have those set things, like whether or not you even use the card. I could just use the card for those 3 or 4 things every month, and I get them regardless, right? But with the Bilt cards, you only get access to those credits if you actually spend enough to actually earn that much Bilt Cash, which is, I think, kind of where it's like, yeah, no, is this actually a coupon book or is it something worse? I think is definitely worth asking. That's a
yeah,
really good question.
I would put it in the worst category, because I'm still firmly believing that it has nothing to do with, like, it's not something like American Express where as long as you go on Uber Eats, you're good, or as long as you go to a Resi restaurant, like you're good. I think you still
Right.
have to go through the Bilt portal or the Bilt app. And I think that's going to make things just a little bit more complex and a little bit more
Hmm.
difficult
Yeah.
for people. I'm hoping we're in territory where it's still not even released, so this is speculation, of course. So I'm excited and kind of interested to see of what that dynamic is. Can you do it outside the built app? Can you do it anywhere in the world? Can you do it outside the US? Who knows?
Great
But I think
question.
that's
Yeah.
just an additional level of like hard mode. Like, people thought we had to play this game like blindfolded. No, we have to play blindfolded and 360 no scopes, upside down, inverted. Like it's getting pretty wild. So
It is getting pretty wild. So we talked about the negative, and I think we have to talk about the positive just a little bit, because there's two problems, right, that people have with American Express. It's the coupon books, and there's a lot of them, and then it's also the annual fees, and that's not going to get any better, especially if the new rumors for the business gold card ring true, and would become a $495 annual fee card for a mid-tier card, which is horrible. But if the Bilt card, if they actually do have credits, and if you use the Bilt Cash option and use them, I'm willing to call it that. But I tend to be a little fluid when it comes to definitions. But
yeah,
you know, you have it where you could conceivably get the $95 Obsidian card, which is decent in its own right, right? You get 2x back on travel purchases, which matches the Sapphire. And then you also get 3x back on either dining or groceries. And then if you just use it as a catch-all card up to your rent spend, you can earn 2x back on that, right? And that's basically the 1x on everything else plus the 1x for your rent or your mortgage, right?
yeah,
I started thinking about it as just a 2% catch-all for the Obsidian. But, you have to use it a little bit more in order to actually be able to get those coupons. But the more you use it, you do get those access to those abilities to use the Uber Cash, the Bilt Cash. All these buzzwords are just freaking me out.
yep,
But you don't have to worry about a high annual fee. It's a $95 card, and you still get to live the coupon life if you want to.
yeah. I completely agree. As far as like you get to choose whether or not you want to live that life. I think where this is a game
Yeah,
changer, and I think where this is very, very powerful, is you're no longer prepaying for these coupons or statement
that's
credits.
true.
It's not
Right.
something where you have to have an $895 platinum card and then you're forced to go to a Resi restaurant, or you're forced to shop at
Yeah.
Lululemon, get Walmart, get YouTube Premium, right? So the things that you
Right.
don't typically purchase with American Express or with Chase, you have to in order to lower your effective annual fee, right? But with the Bilt card, I would say that there is already enough value in Priority Pass in if you wanted to get statement credits for booking hotels and things like that. I think there's enough there to genuinely like make up the difference. And even then, I don't think you
Hmm.
even need to really use those because of the points that you can get on rent. So that's kind of like thing number one, where if you don't even want to try for Bilt credits or Bilt whatever cash back credits, benefits, whatever, you don't have to. And I think that's
Right.
kind of like the hidden superpower that not many people are talking about, because people pay
Right.
for $4.95 annual fee cards, they pay for $8.95 annual fee cards, and they don't even
Yep.
think twice. So I really, really like that about Bilt, and that's what gets me excited about it. I hope that I can get the Palladium, and then yeah, I would say that's probably like the most important one, because as I was talking about this, I already forgot about what the second point is. Oh, I remembered. I remember.
Been there.
The second most important thing, and I think this is where the game changer is Bilt has effectively accomplished what they were going for. The biggest issue that they had with Wells
Hmm.
Fargo and with all their previous issuers is people were buying their 5 bananas and then they were putting
Yeah.
everything on rent, and they were getting an ungodly amount of points. Like I was getting an
That's right.
ungodly amount of points, and I was just getting monsters, or sugar-free monsters for the vending machine, right? So
Yes.
by
Yeah.
by introducing this 4% cash back, and or sorry, 4% Bilt points, and then giving all these statement credits, they're manufacturing ways for people to just like increase their spend, whether they
Yes.
want to, like, for free or not, right? Because when
Hmm.
you look at the two
Yep.
different options on, you have to spend money on not rent in addition to that, this could be a nice way
Right.
to do that with also getting statement credits cash back. I'd imagine that even with these statement credits, it's still going to count towards, like, your 75% or your 50%.
Yeah.
So I think that's just like a nicer way of just like helping people get in debt, and doing it in a
Helping
very,
people get in
very
debt.
fancy way. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So you brought up an interesting point, and you were talking about Bilt is trying to figure out a way to make sure that people always have the Bilt card in your wallet, and that's definitely something we've seen a lot more of from a lot of different cards this year. So we're going to walk through a couple. Like the City Strata Elite is probably the most recent one in my memory, right? That card, obviously, like if you have multiple negative articles in the Wall Street Journal about how bad your card rollout is, you probably did a bad job.
Mhm.
But the card, the multipliers are interesting as long as for most everyday spend, you get the 3x dining, 6x for the city nights thing, which, it's interesting, right? But then you get 1.5x on everything. And I think that's what's interesting is that it's a metal card that gives you lounge access, technically. That's a travel card, technically. And it gets you multipliers on things that most people actually will use, right? There are a lot of people that are probably just simply fine using their City Strata Elite as their only credit card. And more people are doing that, right? So example, we have even the Walmart card, the One Pay card, it gets you 5% back on Walmart with Walmart Plus, which already is a pretty good catch-all for most types of shopping. But then it gets you 1.5% cash back on everything else. And that's kind of huge. The One Pay card or the One Key card with Wells Fargo is the exact same way. More and more of these issuers are trying to become the only card in your wallet, and I just don't know where we're going to go with that. I feel like there's only so many people that can have one card in their wallet. I don't know. What do you think?
Dude, honestly, I don't even want to carry a wallet anymore. It's just so obscene, just how many options there
Yeah.
are, and my wallet is never going to be large enough, and there's always going to be, like, you never really know what cards you need, and you just pray to God
Yep.
that they take Apple Pay, and if they don't, just like heaven help you. So I
Right.
think it probably is just getting to a point to where I think I'm personally just incredibly fatigued with
Hmm.
credits and benefits. I'm fatigued with, trying to figure out what's the best card for the exact moment. So I think convenience for me is the most important thing. And if that's like the one pay card, where if that's your bread and butter and you always shop at those locations and you really find value from it, then that's it. I
Yeah,
think the Strata Elite, like you mentioned, I think it's got great multipliers. I think it also has great benefits. It really depends on, like what team you play for. It's kind of like why someone chooses Marriott over Hilton, why someone chooses Hyatt over both of those. um,
that's right. Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with just what experiences people have. And I think where people start to like really sour over and really start getting like negative vibes is if they watch all this content and how people are just raving about it. They have one experience and it could be negative, and then that's pretty much it. Or
Yeah.
they're just not able to replicate or reproduce like the same success that like you're having with your cards, or some of the people in Discord are having with their city cards, right? It could be a very,
Yeah.
very big turnoff if they don't have that spend. So
Yeah.
I would say, like, for
Absolutely.
me, convenience is key, like 100%.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Well, we have ignored our wonderful comment section for far too long, so we're actually going to go ahead and catch up a little bit. But I do want to make sure that we highlight Tyler's credit card tips. He's been a member for a month now. Thanks so much for being a member. He's actually wanted to point out. So I actually did a recent logo rollout, and so I got a new mug, of course, to highlight the occasion. So thanks for noticing that, Tyler.
Nice.
But then, of course, we also have, basically everyone else. We have Oscars here. Thanks so much for being here. Kirby is saying going against the NFC Championship game is brave.
I was at the Seattle 49ers game, and
Oh,
when I
yeah.
tell you, it was probably the most intoxicated I've ever been in my life, because I'm a 49er fan.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
How expensive were the beers there? I have to ask.
I don't remember. I think one of them
Okay.
was like
All right.
$19, and then I was just like, all right, dude. Gold card.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. I love that. Background balloons here. Thanks so much. LG is here. Thanks so much for being here as well. Don Kim, we got one eye here and the other on the Rams game. There you go. And then Calder's, I got the late night streaming bug from Anthony. So, I was like, let's just do it. So there we go. Stinky Monkey Babies here. Phillip and Daniel. It's time to dive into the stinky future of couponification. And yeah, it is stinky. Spoiler alert. Cesar Joel is here. Thanks so much for being here, Cesar. Love you. And let's see, T.S. Anderson, P2 and I both got Palladium. Any remaining Bilt cash will go directly contributing to the hotel bookings $200 2-night requirement. That's interesting. So there is some bad news about that. I believe I heard that it's only $100 in Bilt cash per month you can put towards these bookings, right?
Yep. The
Yeah.
pain
And so if
begins.
you're on yeah. So like it would be nice, right, if you could use that full 200 that they give you, or well, they give you 300 for the sign up bonus in addition to the points plus the 200, right? So you get 500 right off the bat.
Yep.
It would be nice if I could just throw that at a hotel booking, but sadly
Yep.
no, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, like you can still use the $200 credit plus 100. So $300 off a room is still really good, right? But yeah, Stinky Bumpy's saying hello to Cesar. No coupons required. Yep, that's fair.
It's true.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that Kevin's in Lakeland. I'm gonna have to go back and see what was there was a name of some. It's like an all-you-can-eat like country food buffet place that's in Lakeland in or somewhere in that area, and I always want to go there. I think it's like Fred's or something. So Kevin, I'll meet you at Fred's. Yeah. Josh Kosh, I mostly use rent to get welcome offers on other cards these days. I think that's the Anthony Venture method too. I think he does that. Initially, Palladium as a catch-all seemed like the move, but now wondering about Obsidian with Points Accelerator as my spend is less than 25,000. Josh, so I actually was talking about that with Anthony, and Daniel, you might actually have an opinion on this. It looked by my math that if you did the Points Accelerator, you're essentially just buying the points at about or I think it's 4 cents per point. Would this be worthwhile to you?
Yeah, I was already starting to do some more mental math, or in this case, some bro logic about what I'm going to put on my Palladium card if I even get it. Because that I
Right.
mean I could talk about that too, but so what can I put on there? Like how can I essentially transfer all of my recurring things to either the obsidian or the palladium in order to generate enough spend to make that worth it? Or do I just use
Right.
my Venture X, or do I just use my Blue Business Plus, right? Like,
That's
but I would
true.
say the where my mental headspace is, like, I am not going to be redeeming any of these whatever this Bilt cash is for Uber Eats and home delivery. Like if I had to pick, I would be doing the points boost 100%. So that's what I would do.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So the points boost, and then honestly, right? So like these build points can be worth a lot, especially if you're taking a look at being able to, actually make these redemptions for American Airlines. Like, and one of the things that I really do love about Atmos points is you can actually book whole itineraries, and it's still part of that award chart, right? So my wife and we booked first class flights, or business class flights back from London into Orlando directly, right? And so there's a connection there, but it's all part of the one booking. I don't have to worry about positioning flights. And I think it was still like 55,000 points in business class per seat. And so like there's a lot of really good a lot of really good reasons to like those points. So I definitely get that. I don't know if like, and you have to think about, okay, if I'm using Bilt Cash for it, is it actually paying for these at 4 cents a point, right? If I don't want to use this Bilt Cash anywhere else.
Yeah, I think it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would, I mean, like I said earlier, I would sell out specifically for the points. And I think this might bring up another kind of interesting thing. It depends on what team you play for. Because if you're on Team
that's
Cashback,
true too.
then Bill Cash could be phenomenal. But if you're on Team Travel, then I mean, at that point, you would be doing the points boost. Because what I'm seeing here, if you
Yeah.
spend $5,000 and you get $200 in Bill Cash, and then that gives you an additional 1x. So however long that is, I don't know how that points boost lasts. Like I don't know how long it is. Is it monthly? Is it 6 months, 3 months? I haven't done enough research on that, but I do know that $5,000 is the magic number, but I just don't know how long that points boost lasts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. Is it for the month, or is it just when you're done? Yeah, that will change the thing, because if there's a chance you can't even get that amount, right, then that would change the math a little bit too. So we are going to skip the line a little bit because we got an incredible super chat. Thanks so much for Jason Lewis, 1999. Really appreciate you, man. You were actually, I think, on with Anthony Venture. So thanks so much. Eager to learn more about credit card tips and tricks from the experts. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. And this guy over here, this guy, he's really good. So really looking forward to this conversation. But all right, so we're gonna go back and let's see. There's a lot of discussion here. Calder saying hello to Cesar. Tell me why I'm completely fine with the Amex credits, but the Bilt credits piss me off uncontrollably. This is an interesting take.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So let's get into it, right? So I feel like a lot of the consensus online is that these credits aren't created equal. And it definitely seems like American Express is getting more of a pass with them than Chase is, and Citi for that matter, and now Bilt too. Why is that? Do you have any theories?
I think it's because of how the way they released it. I think it's how the way it was presented, because it's kind of like collectively the credit card community, the credit card world just assumed 4% Bilt Cash, I can use it on everything. I think that is essentially where Bilt just drastically dropped the ball. Whereas American Express, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, because American Express has been doing coupons for the longest time. So when they refreshed their coupons last year, it generated a lot of excitement, because this is options or opportunities where people are like, oh crap, I can actually buy Lululemon leggings or a bra for P2 or myself, who cares, right? So I think that's what got me super excited, because I eat out at Resi all the time. $100 is a lot per quarter, right?
It is.
Whereas I think the way that Bilt kind of presented this was they just gave no information, and I think it created incredible amount of hype. Like when you watch the video, Stefan was blind reacting to it and he could not
Oh
contain
yeah.
himself. He was like, I am dumping the Venture X immediately. Like content creators all over were like, what's the Venture X good for at this point? Because I can get
Right.
2x catch all and I can get 4% Bilt cash on everything. And we thought that we can use it on essentially anything in the Bilt portal. And
Right.
then Bilt just takes what American Express does and just hits it with a Bilt sized sledgehammer where like
I
what am
love
I going
that.
to do with $10 on home delivery? Do you know what the taxes and fees and delivery fees are for home delivery? It's more than $10. Like what am I going to do? Oh,
Right.
anyways,
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah. I love that. But yeah, no, exactly. American Express, I feel like they're better at it. And so the business explanation is that because they're the network and the issuer, they know more about how their customers spend money and things like that. And to a certain extent, that's true. To a certain extent, I think it's just whichever marketing company has the best budgets tends to go to American Express because they've been doing it the longest. And I did a video a couple of weeks, maybe months ago, talking about basically the fact that Lululemon's, when their quarterly profits were announced, it was up significantly. And yeah, sure, part of it's the holiday season, but also I would imagine that it's probably because there's a couple more 100,000 users that are like, I've got to figure out how to use these Lululemon credits, right? So like, are they, I've definitely spent more money at Lululemon than I ever would have before just because of this, right? So like I've definitely got, I've used up those credits, but there's always something left over that I have to pay for it. So, it looks like you have a thought.
Yeah, I mean it's never going to be enough, but it's kind of like at least you can figure out what to do with this where it's like you have flexibility where you could order for pickup. You can order something that's under
Yep.
$75 and then like whatever you don't use, you don't use. Like there's the aspect of like
Right.
I get something free out of it. I think that is something that's very, very thrilling. In addition to that, like you can stack American Express with Rakuten, you can stack anything with Rakuten, right? But
Yes.
if you are essentially confined to the Bilt app, there is no Rakuten, there is no double stack, there is no triple dip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just
That's
takes the
true.
fun out of it. Where for me, it's like there's this one dude on fantasy football. I follow him all the videos, and he puts players in like different categories. And one of his categories is I'd rather not. And I would put that in the I'd rather not category. Like I just don't want to
Yeah.
go through the trouble. However, like if you take Bilt credits aside, like the Palladium card is probably going to still be one of the strongest cards in the game because of the 2x and
Right.
because of the transfer partners. But the whole point of this is to talk about like credits and benefits and coupons and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's just where American Express is a cut above the rest. And although people still really despise using it, I think the credits that you get, the fact that they're quarterly or the fact that they are annual or semi-annual, I think
Hmm.
it gives you more flexibility to where you don't have to do it on a monthly basis because that's how I think Bilt is for everything except for maybe like one or two credits. Um, but like you have time, so you have time to wait for Lululemon to get more than 2% on Rakuten, which is what I'm literally doing right now. Whereas on some of the other credits, you don't have that capability. You have to use it, or in this case, you kind of don't lose it, but it's just like such a feels bad moment where it's like I have this Bilt cash that I can't use anywhere else. Like I can't use it anywhere else. And I think that's
Right.
probably another pain point where American Express and Chase and
Yeah.
City, you can use it anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times, even if like if something were to go wrong with how the codes or something, like you can hop on the phone with somebody. Which honestly, like with American Express, like they do have the chat feature, but a lot of the time they just don't even understand what I'm talking about. But I do have to get on the phone with them sometimes. But yeah, no, 100%. Like it's definitely like it's more a little bit more flexible. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to living life. Hi, Philip. Do you know if we would still get points on rent payments using Bilt Portal by using other credit cards like Amex, Hilton, Surpass to hit the sub? Let's see. Do you have? I think you might have it actually. Do you have the current Bilt card?
I do currently. So as of
Okay.
now, you definitely can. However, I think I remember very vaguely that this was still going to be a thing. You could still use the Bilt portal in order to use other cards. I do know that they have shifted drastically with how it will function. If you want to use the actual Bilt card, I don't think you get your own. I think that might change everything because I've heard rumors how you don't get, your routing and banking info anymore. Um, but
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'd be interested to see, like, if you already have that set up, is that going to be something that sticks around? Or are they going to have a different way to just, like, add cards to it like you can in the Built portal? Because as of right now in the
Yeah.
Built portal, you could just add whatever card you want, and then when you pre-authorize your rent, you can, like, okay, I'm going to use this card, I'm going to use this card, and then that's kind of it. But I'd be interested to see, like, because if you get the 0.5, how are you going to keep it? Because you need to spend a certain amount on the Bilt card to do it, right? So I think that would
Yep.
be kind of
Yeah.
interesting to figure out if you can even keep that 0.5. But for me, like, if you can even if you can even use other credit cards, I would still use it just for the Anthony Venture method, where I'm just using it to hit sign-on bonuses for other cards, and other than that, I kind of don't care.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So we actually got another super chat. Thank you so much, MJ Tastic. Hey guys, instead of using $200 built cash, calculated for 5,000 points, at 4 cents per point, would I calculate my 1x points accelerator as 95 USD for 5,000 points? Since I'm essentially paying $95 annually after the $400 hotel credit. Interesting. So this is presumably on the Palladium card.
Obsidian? Oh,
Um,
yeah. I think there's just a difference between the Palladium and the Obsidian. Okay, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you factor in, like, the effective annual fee, then I would always say that that's a better deal, especially because you're getting 2x compared to 1x. So, I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen that, you like, when the math, like, really maths, you can get 3.33x, which is always going to be better than the $95 card. And then you
right.
can combine it with other cards, of course. But
I do like this. This is an interesting approach, right? So if you assume, right, I'm not going to do anything else for the built cash. I'm only going to use it for the one time of the points multiplier or the points accelerator. Can I loop that in with the annual fee? Huh. Interesting. I mean, that would assume that that was the only thing you're getting for the annual fee, which I don't know, like, because technically you're still getting the priority pass, and some things like that. So I don't know if, like, that would be like, if you wanted to get into the loop, you probably to figure out what else you're paying for with that $95. But
yeah.
yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Thanks so much for
factor in,
that
like, base
perspective.
points earned, if you factor in, like, base points earned, like, I've made my effective annual fee like 5 times over last year with the gold card, with how much points we got just for, like, food and things like that. I think you can also, like, this could be something that could be quite legendary. Like, you can literally put, like, all your eggs in one basket when they actually tell us how long this points boost is. If it's for 1 month, I'm essentially
Hmm.
waiting and I'm holding my built cash until when I have the absolute, just most ridiculous month worth of spend. And then I'm going to put everything on that card for 3.3 or 5x or whatever that multiplier is going to be. So you can essentially line it up that way, where you can essentially, yeah, just plan it out. Like, don't the first thing that you should do is probably not boost your points unless you have some absolutely crazy uh you know
Hmm.
things lined up, unless they also say, like, hey, as long as you have gold, it'll be a year, or as long as you have this, it'll be a year. Or if they just tell you it'll be a year, then go ahead and do it. But if it's like 5 days, which I'm willing to bet it's going to be something really dumb like that, like 5 days 1 week. They've done that in the past, where if it's that, I would just wait and line it up, just put everything on hold,
Yeah.
wait for the holidays, who cares?
Awesome. So we actually do have to put a hold on this because I just got some breaking news from Anthony Venture himself. He texted me this link on Reddit, and essentially, basically, it's saying that basically Bilt 1.0 card holder was denied for the Obsidian. Now they just received an offer to accept it. So they got an email to accept the card after they got denied. Let's see. I just received the email right before I made the post. I was initially rejected for the Obsidian. I had the 1.0 for years with a $4,800 limit. Interesting. So, what do you think about this? So, this is definitely something that I've been kind of a victim of here. How has your built path gone so far?
Dude, Anthony and I were talking about this literally yesterday. We're trying to just like just like giga finesse the system. I also had the built I have the built 1.0. I've had it for a couple years now. Actually, no, I've had it for a year. And I was only pre-approved for the built blue. I really wanted the palladium, and
Oh,
they're like,
yes.
we can't give
Okay.
you this color, but we can give you this color. And I accepted it. And there was another person in Discord who had a very similar experience. However, they contacted Bilt customer service or cardless customer service, and they were able to request a product change, which I also did. I'm kind of waiting on the result for that. I think Anthony and I did that on the same exact day, except Anthony's story is a little bit different. I don't want to take the words out of his mouth. I'll let him tell that. But ultimately, they told me that they put the request in, they gave me a ticket number, and they said that I should get like an email from Bilt or Cardless or whoever within 48 hours to see what the resolution is. So whether or not I get approved. This is day 2. I'm taking it as business days. So I don't think Saturday or Sunday
Yeah.
count. So for me, if I don't
Right.
hear anything by Tuesday, I'm going to call them and I'm just going to give the ticket number and see. But I mean, seeing that post on Reddit, I can completely understand how people are getting denied for the card and getting approved
Oh,
or an
yeah.
approval email like accept it, because like there's going to be a lot of mistakes. There's going to be people that trip over cables and press the wrong button, and the algorithm is not perfect. So you can definitely get a denial this, but then get approved 2 seconds later. I think that's kind of the reconsideration type of a thing where who knows, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm patiently waiting for my "you've been approved for the Palladium" email from Bilt. Bilt, if you're watching, executives, please come on, man. I'm like a huge follower. Like I love your work. I support everything. Just like hook a brother up, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah. You should definitely interview Richard Kerr. That would be go over really well with the community. So
Yeah, please, bro. Come on. Like Bill Cash is like
yeah.
interesting, but like I still like, dude, come on.
Right. Come on, let's talk about it. Calvi is here. Thanks so much for being here. Dang, Anthony just showed this to me. Yeah, he literally just texted me while I was on, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. So, but yeah. Tyler's credit card tips actually was, so when are non-built 1.0 holders able to start applying and actually getting accepted for the card? So basically, Tyler, I currently don't have built 1.0, and I applied for it, was denied for it, for the Palladium, as Kirby helpfully pointed out. But I've heard a lot of people in my comment section report that they were not built 1.0 people and actually did get approved for it. Have you seen that? Something like that? Yeah. Okay.
Yep, one of my friends. I hate him because he got the Palladium, but I'm very happy for him. Yeah, so I mean, you can apply for it. I think as of what, like the 14th, 15th of January, that's where everything went live. If you have the built card, if you have built 1.0, then you get to quote unquote choose your built, like choose your fighter type of a thing. And then you go through
Yeah.
a pre-approval, like a soft credit check, and whatever you get, you get. So that's now, like, you could literally log into Bilt right meow and do it. That's probably the first thing you're going to see, like choose your card or upgrade to Bilt 2.0
Yeah.
or transition to Bilt 2.0. But yeah, I mean, my friend did not have a Bilt card, and he was like, what's this? This looks really interesting. And I was like, oh, I'm making a video of it, but I'll tell you some cool things. And the reason why he got it was because he was like, are you kidding me? 4% cash back and 2x bill points? Like, this is not even, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
And now he's just
Oh,
like a little
man.
sad puppy. And I was like, hey, give me the Palladium. I'll take it from you. I'll use it. Don't worry about it,
Yeah. This is an interesting question. BPBL. Unless you love Hyatt, are built transfer partners really that much better? What do you think? Is it just Hyatt?
I would say, as an American Express fanboy who has access to absolutely none of those transfer partners, and the
Mm,
chances of me getting below 524 is, if you could go negative, I would put it negative, right? So for me, I think the transfer partners, it's a phenomenal combination if you already have chase cards. If you don't have chase cards, it's a great way to just use Bilt and then have access to the same transfer partners. So
yes.
I would say
Yeah.
they are on par 100% with Chase. Hyatt essentially
Plus one.
is yeah, it's the big one, right? Hyatt's the big one. Japan Airlines is the big
Yeah.
one. Everyone wants to go to Japan right now, and finding Japan Airlines through Alaskan or American or British Airways, or just like all these just like backdoor methods. I can imagine how infuriating that is. So the fact that you could just log into Japan Airlines like you would for ANA, for example, and then you could just search anything you want and then just get it on the spot. I mean, come on now. But yeah, I would say it's on par. I would say slightly better. And I would say what gives them the edge is Rakuten. So I will eat, sleep, and you know what, Rakuten, I will sing it from the rooftops. It's just an additional like earnings category that you can't get with Chase. So I think it is definitely like a step above, and I think that's why Bilt is so popular. But I'd imagine how long they can actually hold on to these transfer partners. I think my current favorite transfer partner that Bilt has at this very moment is Spirit Airlines. I think I would definitely put. I saw that and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
Charity, anyways. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah. Um, in my estimation, I think every point is because I dabble in a bunch of different ecosystems, right? I have venture miles, I have chase miles, ultimate rewards, membership rewards, like all of the things. I even have thank you points because that's it exists. Because I
yeah.
have so many of them, yeah. Because I have so many of them, I kind of tend to think of them as that I only use that particular point for exclusives, right? Because, I can use anybody for Virgin Atlantic, but because Capital One doesn't really excel in anything else, I prefer to use my Capital One points when I'm using Virgin or Air France, just because I can do other things with my other points, right? Chase points are going to be if I need to move something to United or Southwest. And if I move points to Southwest, and something very wrong has happened in my life. But, or Hyatt, right? So that's what my chase points are for. Amex is going to be mainly for Delta or trying to figure out something with Delta, or for Hilton largely. And so like, I think it's just like each ecosystem has a superpower, which then would mean if the 80,000 Bilt points I'm about to get with Racketin, like that's either going to go to Hyatt or it's going to go to Atmos, and that's just because those are the two things I can't get really anywhere else. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with the whole point system. So
Ditto. I'm like, do they go to Alaska, or do they go to United, or do they go to Hyatt? I think I'm leaning Hyatt
yep,
though, because I really, really, really like, you have to know where you want to go. If you have no
right,
idea where you want to
absolutely.
go, then it's a impossible decision. But there's a Alila Ventana in Big Sur, which is 45,000 points a night, and if you
Yes.
look at the cash value, it's literally $3,000 to $4,000 a night. And I'm like, are
Hmm.
you kidding me? Like
Yes.
10x multiplier? I'm going. Like,
Yep.
it's 2 hours from my house. Like, come on, let's go.
I will say that Hyatt is less reliable value than it used to be. I was
Yeah.
looking at for my video, for my members only video I posted this morning, I was looking at Hyatts in just the state of Florida, and most of them are around a cent a point. Yeah. Like if you're just staying at like a Hyatt place or something, like you're not going to get very good value. You're still going to get better than those Hilton points, right? But it's still not going to be good for like your actual Bilt points. But yeah, no, for those higher tier properties, that's where it's at, right? In South Florida, there's a resort that's just kind of out there by itself, and I want to say it's like 20,000 points, but it's like a $500 $600 a night room. Like that's why you use Hyatt points, right? Because
Yeah.
if I want to go on a vacation with my family for a couple of nights, like that's where I'm going to use my points because that's going to get it there in the best way possible. If I want to stay at a competing Hilton property, it's probably going to be 600,000 points, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you compare that to like Marriott and Hilton, there's only a couple places in the world where you can get a really good redemption for Marriott, and I'm saving up points to go there. Ha, Bora Bora.
Right?
But everywhere else, it's like the only reason why you're paying with points is because you don't want to pay cash. And at that point,
Yeah.
you're committed, right? It's just like how you take an L on airlines and how you'll get like 1.2 cents per point, and it's like the most painful redemption. However, you're just like, dude, I just really don't want to pay cash. I don't have it in my budget right now, or I just don't
Right.
want to pay cash because I don't want to pay cash, and then you just do it. So
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 100%. We're going to shift gears a little bit because we did get a question. Calders was asking how my new kid is doing. We actually just found out about 15 minutes before we went on a live stream that tomorrow will probably be the day. So we've had a
nice.
couple of
Congrats.
false alarms so far, but this may be my last live stream as a not father. So it's just a regular guy.
That's dope.
But yeah, so we're excited about that. Sharvicia, thanks so much for being here. There are mini credits, and you can choose what you want. It's not like you have to use it. If you feel the coupon is a waste, just move on to one that you like. Yeah, and I think that's kind of like we were talking about earlier. Like having lower annual fees means there's a little bit less pressure.
Yep. You're not prepaying for
Yeah.
stuff you don't want.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, I think we're going to fast forward a little bit to the conversation. A lot of people are kind of talking about the transfer partners, so that's great.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up.
So many
All right.
comments.
So many comments. Yeah, there's so many people in the chat. 106 people right now. Hopefully, there's 106 likes. I really appreciate it if you would hit that like button. That helps the algorithm, and it just makes the world a better place.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
The more likes Phillip gets, the higher possibility that the Seahawks will lose. So please, for the love of God, like this video. I swear. See if
I
Seattle
love
wins,
it.
I'm going on a leave of absence. Like I won't be able to handle it because Seattle in San Francisco. No, I can't do it.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. I love it. Okay, so Hybrid Vortex says I accepted my offer for the Palladium. Wow, you are a lucky duck. Good job.
I do not like you, but I'm so happy for you. I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope you get all the points. And then maybe if I get approved for it, with this faux approval, like you and I can celebrate together. We'll go to Fred's in Florida.
There you go. Yeah, we're also going to go to Fred's. Walker also got the Palladium card, so a lot of people getting the Palladium card. Would it be dumb to opt out of the Bilt Cash altogether? I plan to use this card for everything. Tired of coupon books and like Bilt's transfer partner. So, what do you think about this?
Ooh. I think this is okay. So I'm just gonna put a blanket statement. If for those of you that played Pokemon when you were growing up, I genuinely feel like everybody that got the Palladium card is Ash Ketchum, and I am Gary. I'm the rival that you always just whoop their you know what. So I'm Gary right now, and this is not a good feeling. However, I can vibe with our friend here because I'm on the exact same boat. Like I looked at those credits for 2 seconds and I said I'd rather not. But when I look at the points boost, if like whatever Bilt Cash I get, like if this truly is like your catch-all card, like everything, if you're going to shift all your, car insurance, rent, gym membership, whatever, like if you're going to throw all that on there, I would do some bro logic and see like
Yep.
like how much you get back for the points boost. And then you might as well just use it for the points boost. So instead of 2x, you can get 3x or 3.3x or 2.5x. Like, I think anything at that point would be helpful for you, especially if you are on the same playing field that I am, where it's like, dude, I haven't even used some of my gold credits. Like I forgot to get Duncan, and it's like the 25th right now, right? So like, yeah, I would just put everything to the points accelerator. So I would do a little bit of research on that and just see how it works, how you can select it once you can get the card, and just that's it.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. So Daniel just said a bunch of really, really awesome, really intelligent stuff. If you want to see more of Daniel saying very intelligent stuff, go ahead and make sure you might need to refresh the page because I just added it recently, but make sure you go in the description. There is an @ link to his channel at Card Smarter. Go ahead and go in a separate tab because we still want to keep you here, but make sure you go subscribe to Daniel because he's got some awesome takes. And they had a really interesting kind of video talking about kind of a fresh look at, or I think it was a blind reaction to the Bilt 2.0, which was a brilliant idea. Loved it. It was amazing. But I do have to actually go ahead and talk about myself a little bit too. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So if you're taking a look at all this stuff and you're like, man, I really don't know what I'm doing with my wallet, we can help you. And more specifically, I can help you. We have some mini credit card sessions where you can just kind of talk about some basic questions, some other larger credit card strategy sessions, and we can also help you get some travel planned. You just have to go to the link on the website in the description below, and then there's actually a booking feature where you can actually book the appointment yourself. And so this is actually something new I rolled out, so I want to make sure I talked about it. But then now that that's out of the way, we can go back to all the good stuff. So everyone can get back to it. But yeah, so we have a couple of other people here. Let's see. Calby was answering someone else's question. Was that they were asking if you could get more than one of the new Bilt cards, and he's saying, unfortunately, you can't, but you can be an authorized user on another. Calby, maybe you could help me, or maybe even someone else. My question would be, if I get denied for this card, and it's with my velocity, it's definitely like a possibility, right? If my wife becomes the primary card holder, I wonder how easy it would be to transfer those Bilt points to, like, say, an Atmos account in my name, like if I was an authorized user, because I just don't know what the Bilt transfer rules are. If anybody knows, that would be really helpful. Do you have any insight into that?
I mean, I would probably wonder the same thing. I do know that like right now, me and player two are playing a very dangerous Marriott game where she just has the password to my Marriott, and we're booking everything. And
Oh yeah,
we're booking for two people, and then I'm when I check in, I add her name as a guest, and she's able to just flash her ID, and then we're good to go, right? So it's kind of like
oh
the
yes.
closest thing to making ghost bookings, but someone's actually attending.
Hmm.
So I mean, I would love to know if my girlfriend with phenomenal credit and zero velocity at all could get all these cards, and then we could just send it to my account because my name's
Right.
Daniel and I bought the flights. My name's Daniel and I booked the hotel, right? So like
Yep.
that's me to a T. So I mean, if anyone has insight, or this could be just like a trial and error, where just like send them, see what happens, right? And then we can
Yeah.
kind of go
Yeah,
from
right.
there,
Yeah. Let's break it and see what happens. Yeah, exactly.
see what happens.
We need to break some stuff. John's credit and travel is here. Thanks so much, John. John actually did a recent video. I think it was yesterday, where he talked about some huge Delta news. So if you want to learn more about Delta's lounges, definitely check out his channel. He's got a really great video about it. Kirby is here as well. Thanks so much here. Let's see. Points in I need to talk to you. I will ping you. Okay. All right. So they're going to take it offline. Let's see. Will paying property tax count towards minimum spend for the sub? I think my
Mm,
reaction is I don't think so. But what do you think? Have you heard anything about this?
I think the language is non-rent, so I think it depends on like how it codes. Um, I
Yeah.
would, I would, if I were to guess, I would probably say yes, it would, because I don't think you're actually like pre-authorizing it. I don't think you're um, doing it through a portal specifically for rent. Unless you are, then I guess not. But I would probably, I would just have two worlds where like you prepare for a world where it doesn't count. So make sure you have things lined up, of course. And then you can also prepare for another world where it does count. And then you're like, sweet, I'm done.
Right? Yeah, exactly. That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're kind of caught up on the conversation everyone's kind of talking about amongst themselves. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the other coupons that we've seen roll out in the last little month, in the past year or so. And let's go ahead and pick on City a little bit, just because they haven't had enough hate recently. And so the City Strata
City
Elite
nights.
has City, yeah, the City Nights. Is it a City Night actually? I don't think it is. It
No.
or is it just
No.
Friday and Saturday? Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. We should have branded that a little bit better. but
That's okay.
but anyway, so the City Strata Elite has a splurge credit, which is kind of interesting because there's a bunch of different places where you can use it, including Best Buy, American Airlines for some purchases. They kind of put that sum in there, and then you can also use it for other interesting things. So, what do you think about the splurge credit? Is this something that moves the needle to you? Is this interesting to you? Is this a good way to kind of handle this coupon book situation?
I mean, the fact that it's once per year, I think this aligns very heavily with what I was saying about American Express. It's not something where you have to spend it in a month or you lose it. So you have a good amount of time to actually figure out what you want as far as this annual splurge credit. I literally just bought something from Best Buy, and it would have been lovely to have this $200 statement credit come back to me, using the card that I don't have.
Yeah,
But I think it's just a great way to like, if it's kind of like what people have been talking about. It's not the end of the world if you don't use it, but if you can use it,
right.
I think it's phenomenal. Especially if you travel with American Airlines consistently, religiously. There's always going to be something that you
Yeah,
can get from Best Buy. And then, like, when I'm looking at it here, there's like Live Nation. So, concert tickets, personal training. Like, that sounds really interesting. I wish there was something with food on it. I feel like if there was something with food on it, then
yeah.
we would probably see some like actual competition to the Platinum card and Resi. But as of right
I
now,
like that.
yeah, it's very limited. But I mean, you could get it done. You're bound to buy a gift for somebody at Best Buy. Like, let's just say that.
Exactly. Yeah. Fun fact, actually, is behind the scenes. So I made the pilgrimage to see Anthony Venture recently, and he actually ended up taking me to Best Buy, where he was like, "Just tell me, what I should get for my channel." I was like, "Okay, let's go." So we just went around the aisles in Best Buy, just looking for stuff to get, and they do have quite a bit. So you could definitely find a way to use it, right, if you want
Yeah,
to.
I just bought a
But yeah, I
Nintendo
like
Switch.
what you exactly. Exactly. I love it. I do want to talk about, because you made an interesting kind of hypothesis, right? If you don't use a credit card, is it the end of the world? And I definitely want to talk about, is it this card? Yeah, I think it's this card. Yeah. So the City A Advantage, the executive card, right? This is the nice card, $595 annual fee. And there's not a whole lot of credits here, right? Now okay, there are a lot of credits, but the only one that I actually would care about if I use this would be the Admirals Club membership, which is, if I bought it, it could be up to $850 in value, right? Now, the reason I care about this, or I will, the reason why this card is on my short list is not because I get $120 back on eligible prepaid Avis and budget car rentals, because I hate Avis and budget car rentals. But
Mhm.
it's because, like, with someone who will have a family in the next couple of days, being able to access, unlimited lounge access whenever we fly, that would honestly be a significant reason to fly American and have this card. So, I would pay $595 for a discounted, Admirals Club membership, and then maybe we'll be able to make some back on, Global Entry or Grubhub, or maybe Lyft credits every once in a while. But yeah, like, if the card does what you want it to do, then maybe it's worth, kind of not having to stress out about the credits as much.
Yeah, but then also it depends on where you're flying, and is there even an
That's true.
American Airlines lounge there? I think you are just like me. You are very blessed with your home airport on what
You're
lounges
right.
there are. Um, But I do think like once more aligned with, when you pick a team, right? So if you pick the American Airlines team, like you're talking about, I think that's great. I see the same benefits for getting like the United Club card, where you get lounge access for
Yeah,
that too, right?
yeah,
Maybe
right.
not as much lounge access, but it's like when you pick a team, whatever team you want to play for, all the cards do very similar things. I would also probably say that the benefits that you get for getting that American Airlines card could be like free luggage for everybody on the itinerary, which is going to save hundreds of dollars. You also can board earlier, so that means you don't have to worry about like overhead space, right? Like just getting United Silver status through a Marriott is such a game changer because I also get a free upgrade, and I'm sure that's something that credit card gives you with like status or like whatever else. So, I mean, I think
Yeah,
there's a ton of benefits where I think you pointed out something like really good. There's benefits that you get that are not advertised. And I think that's where like loyalty truly is rewarded. And it's not something that you can get out of a coupon book. And I think that's what a lot of people
that's
also
true.
don't understand about picking American Express or picking Chase or picking Citi, or picking an airline or a hotel. Like it's the intangible things where it's like you just get it because you're loyal, you know?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely fair. It is airline specific, right? And
Yeah.
so that's, it's like if you live in in Charlotte, you're probably not getting the platinum card because you're probably not going to be in a Sky Club very much, I
Yep.
definitely get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so I feel like so we did have a couple of people answering the Atmos question or the Bilt point question. Matthew's saying it might be easier to transfer to Atmos if you have one of the cards. Those should definitely allow pooling points for Alaska and Hawaiian. I'm still working on Bank of America liking me, so that would be a plan.
Yeah. That was my first bank. So that relationship is
Okay.
like cooked, like actually cooked, burnt to a crisp. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like even like I still have their credit cards and they just increased my credit limit. So I thought that was like, "Ooh, they might like me." And then I applied for the Alaska card and they literally hit me with a, "We're not giving you the card. We didn't even check your credit. Don't even worry about it."
Oh wow.
And I was like, "Dude, that's crazy."
Man, did you just prove a bucketing with Bank of America?
Dude, no, I don't even know what that is, but I want out immediately.
Yeah. Oh man, that's terrible. Wrote the Ratatar is I feel like it's the same household. Then rendering points over to each other should be okay. That's what I'm kind of thinking too, but I'm just not sure how that would work. Only issue that might come up is they think that you're buying the points from someone else. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it's true. I just haven't seen a confirmation about it yet. All right. BP saying, I don't hate City, but they sure hate me. Gonna have to cut back on the old velocity because I'd love to get a Strata Premier. Yeah, that's a good point. What do you think about the City? Are they friendly with you or no?
Absolutely not. I was pre-approved for every card minus like the elite because I don't think it was even out yet. But I was pre-approved for the double cash, custom cash.
Wow.
I was pre-approved for the American Airlines one, and then I was like, "Ooh, everyone's talking about the custom cash, and I want 5x. Thank you points. You're welcome points. Let's just call them your welcome points. I wanted 5x your welcome points, and I applied for it, and they were like, "Ooh, sorry, not right now." And I was like, "Bro, I was
Yeah,
pre-approved." And then that's where someone in Discord was like, "Who gives a crap about pre-approval? It doesn't matter. It means nothing." And I was like, "All right, sounds
that's
good."
true. Yeah, some banks place more of an emphasis on it than others. That's definitely true. I actually
Yeah.
only have one non-American Airlines City card, and it actually started as a mailer for the Diamond Preferred card, which is their balance transfer card. And so I did a balance transfer there, paid it off in time, and then these products changed me to the Rewards Plus card, and then it became a custom cash, and then it became my City Strata Premier, which means I didn't get the sign up bonus, but I love those I prefer points so much that
Mhm.
it's worth it.
How many likes are we at right now? Because
That's a
Seattle
good
is
question.
slipping, and this is good. So Rams are coming back. They were down by like 11 points earlier, and now Now they're down by 4. So let's get some more likes, people. Come on. I really need Seattle to lose. Okay. I don't have any bets on it, but it's
Right.
my pride at this point. So
I really, honestly, as an economics teacher, I'm kind of stressed out about how many of my kids are actively gambling on sports. It's like,
yeah,
come on, guys, like, don't do that. Choose gambling on cryptocurrency like everyone else.
yeah, literally.
All right. James Wynn says, I love the United card. Okay, yeah. That definitely seems like a lot of people that I talk to in my consultations, they have United cards. It seems like they're pretty popular.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Matthew is saying with the City card that Lyft credit is tougher to use than any other rideshare credit I've seen. Interesting. Yeah. So it says after taking 3 eligible rides in a calendar month, earn a $10 Lyft credit for a total of up to $120 Lyft credits annually. So it's only on your 4th ride in a month. Who's using Lyft that much?
It's ridiculous, dude. That is
Yeah.
ridiculous. I'm sorry. Do you know how much the Lyft ride was to go from the hotel in Seattle to the Seattle airport? Do you want to guess? Let's see. Let's see if the chat can even guess. And no cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Don't open the Lyft app and then do it. Okay, because the price you get is going to be different than the price that I get. But I want people to guess what they think it is, and it's a 15-minute ride, like maybe 20 minutes if there's traffic. Okay, so I want people to guess, and then we'll see who comes the closest because I have a very specific number in my head. But just as you know, people are commenting here, like the amount of money Lyft is, and that you have to spend in order to get $10 is insane. Like, I think this is like the same thing of like you still have to spend money in order to get it, and you get Bilt points,
Mm-hmm.
which is fantastic, phenomenal. Like, I guess if you combine, you know, neighborhood Lyft where you get 5x on Lyft, like I guess it kind of makes
Oh,
up
yeah.
for it, right? But like imagine spending this much money in order to get $10. Like that's just a poor investment. Like that's where it goes in the I'd rather not category. Like I'll just use Lyft to use Lyft. Or you can do like if you have the platinum card, you know, the airline that is the lowest bidder gets your business where there's no
Yep.
loyalty, like right. So I think we have
All
enough
right.
comments at this point. Um
Yes. What
so
was it?
when I went to Seattle 2 times. So I went to Seattle
Uh-huh.
at the end of December, and when I did, we actually rented a car because it was cheaper to rent a car than to take Lyft. Okay, this is how
Wild.
crazy it is. So when we went in December, the Lyft, obviously during holidays, the Lyft was $97 to go from Seattle Tacoma to the W in downtown Seattle. Right, $97. It cost me $150 for 2 days to rent it
Wow.
or to rent a car.
So I
And
think
then the second
Carlos was the
time,
closest at
yeah,
95.
yeah, the second time we went, it was $76 the way back, and then $68 the way there. So I mean, like
Wow.
it's ridiculous, bro. And like when you think of, yeah, it's cool, I'll take $10, man. Like there's no way,
Yeah.
there's no way. Shout out to Carlos. What does Carlos get?
Carlos gets a firm handshake at the creator meetup if he goes.
Sweet, you get a high five, bro. Carlos, congrats, bro. High
Good job,
five
Carlos.
from the man, the myth, the
Yeah.
legend, Phillip himself. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hybrid Vortex. So, saying that the Lyft credit is a MasterCard thing. I have it on my current Bilt. Never use it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. And so
Oh, you don't
it's
even.
wheels I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not even a credit.
Honestly, okay.
Sweet.
That is kind of a pet peeve of mine too. When you look at a credit card and they're like, oh, we have all these benefits and it's literally just what MasterCard or Visa gets you. I experienced that with the Made card recently. I got it. That was my first card this year, and don't get it. Like nobody should ever get the Made card. It's literally the worst. But they were like talking about how great like the benefits are. It's like it's just the Visa benefits. It's just yeah. But anyway,
The math is not mathing, bro.
it
Like,
grinds
what's
my
going
gears.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. The Bilt credit is for the Lyft bank, honestly. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I
The
will
CSP
say,
gives you like,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The CSP gives you 500x on Lyft. Gives like, it's the only spin I ever put on that card. There you go.
Yeah. I would say that's built for me. Like I don't even use I use the American Express Green, and then I just
Oh, yeah.
since it's linked to the Built network, I'll also get Built points too. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I would say Lyft and Walgreens, since there's a Walgreens literally right next to my work, I'm just absolutely abusing the neighborhood benefits right now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was using Publix for the pharmacy stuff, but now it's become out of network this year. So now we get to use Walgreens. So I might actually be getting some more Built points that way too.
Yep.
All right, a hybrid. I use my ink for Lyft and get both UR and Built points. So that's good. James is saying Turo for the win. Yeah. Yeah.
A friend of mine was
Carlos,
saying that for Hawaii. Like
oh,
Turo
really?
in
Okay,
Hawaii.
Turo.
Yeah.
Nice. That would be kind of cool to be able to just drive around.
Just imagine
I looked
like
into getting. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, just imagine like how much money you have to spend to valet your car at a hotel.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
in Seattle,
that's
they were
true.
charging me $65 a night, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? There's no way." Like
Yes.
same thing in Hawaii. So that's where it's like I would rather take a Lyft to pick up my Turo rental and then drop it off, take a Lyft back because it's cheaper. Like
Right.
that's kind of a game changer that not many people are thinking about, and that's something that just like hit
Yeah.
me like an absolute freight train last time I was in Seattle. So
New York City is the same way. When my wife and I we stayed at the Park Hyatt in New York, we were trying to figure out like the best way to get from JFK into central New York, and then like stay at the hotel. So I looked into like doing a rental car, but the parking at the Park Hyatt was $90 per night, and that was like so I was like, okay, is it worth it to get a rental car? And then it ended up being a little bit cheaper just to get the taxi, but not by a lot. Like it was actually like
yeah,
kind of close.
yeah. And it's like
But
you're
yeah,
gonna get stuck in traffic five ever. Like there's forever and then there's five ever. Like you're not gonna get anywhere in New York in a car
no,
unless
no,
it's like one trip.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Jordy is saying it's cheaper to fly than Uber slash Lyft. Yeah,
Literally get a helicopter.
that's get the
Blade.
blade.
Get a
Use your Built
blade.
cash for
Yeah.
the Blade helicopter. Yeah. The only thing that sucks
$5
about the
off.
Blade helicopter, yeah. Well, it's what 350, I think.
Yeah.
But the only thing that sucks about Blade is if you actually have any bags, like if they weigh a certain amount, like you actually have to pay to have someone drive your bags to where you're going. On
I'll
top
just
of
throw
it,
it out of there. I'll just throw it out of the helicopter at that point, dude. Like
right?
whatever. I'll just buy new stuff. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Oh, interesting. So James asking if anyone has the DoorDash credit card. I know one of you out there has it. Oh man, I don't have the DoorDash credit card, but that would be interesting.
That's his next card. It's your next card.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go apply for it right now. We're gonna do a live apply.
Live apply. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here we go. Uber and Lyft are gonna be transfer partners at these prices.
Dude,
Oh
honestly.
man. But, I was trying to figure out where the next transfer partners were going to come from, because I feel like there's not a whole lot of options when it comes to airfare, right? Maybe Allegiant, maybe Breeze becomes someone's transfer partner, but then maybe Amtrak, maybe Brightline. But other than that, like I don't know if there's much expansion opportunities. So maybe we might have to see. You can transfer your points into Uber or Lyft credits.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's probably going to be transfer your point. I mean, it kind of already is, but like just redeem your points for like purchases. So you know how you can get like a
Right.
bonus for like Amazon, you can get a bonus for whatever. I'd imagine like what's Airbnb going to look like, because right now you can get Airbnb gift
Right.
cards. So what happens
Yeah.
if you could just transfer into the app where Airbnb just has their own like balance, right? That would be pretty insane.
Yeah. we honestly, like, we were like so frustrated by that this summer because my wife and I, we ended up actually getting an Airbnb in Hershey, Pennsylvania, because we were supposed to be staying at a Hampton Inn. It was the worst Hampton Inn I've ever stepped foot in. So we actually ended up walking out. And like, yeah, there were actually like live wires like hanging from the ceiling. Like it was psychotic. So we ended up actually going to Airbnb, but it was like, it's frustrating that we have all these points and miles and you can't do anything with them for that other than cash them out, which, there's that. But, it's weird that they don't have a credit card because Verbo, who's a direct competitor, does. They have access to the one key card system. But
Interesting.
yeah, Airbnb should. That would be good.
I would say that it reminds me of a very similar scenario where my parents went to Hawaii, and
Oh, okay.
they stayed at a hotel and it just wasn't close enough to the beach. So my dad, being the person
Mm,
that he is, just went absolutely bananas and got out of the reservation, got a refund, and then booked a hotel at the Hilton, which is right on the water, and they were happy. So
nice. There you go. Yeah. And yeah, sometimes Airbnbs are better. Sometimes hotels are better.
yep.
100%. Joker, besides Chase, what else even goes well with Bilt with the new ways of 2.0? Interesting. So I did a video where I talked about how the Obsidian card would work really well with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. But I feel like, okay, so I guess we could tackle the Palladium card because that's kind of the catch-all card.
Mhm. Mhm.
What other ecosystems would that fit in well?
Man, I think like where my head's at right now is like how do cards complement each other from like a
Hmm.
point transfer standpoint.
Right.
Um, so I think when you think of transfer partners, I'd probably lean more into like co-branded cards. So maybe the United
Mm.
cards, maybe Hyatt cards with their welcome offers. Right now, I think the Hyatt one is pretty ridiculous, if my memory serves correct, in a good way. But I'd probably lean towards like maybe getting co-branded cards and then using the Palladium as like, your the catch-all, right? Um, or
Yeah.
I think you can also not put all your eggs in one basket. So it depends on where you want to travel. So maybe Bilt can be your hotel stay, and then maybe, like American Express can be your flight, or maybe City can be your flight, or American Airlines can be your flight. Or this, right, with the record high 100,000 points.
Yeah.
I think there's like a sneaky link for the summit right now,
That's right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like you can choose one of two things. Like you can get cards that complement each other, so this would be like a perfect example. Love how we're on the same page. Or you can separate
Hmm.
church and state, or in this case, airline and hotel, and then your Bilt can be maybe your hotel, and then your American Express could be like your airlines, or vice versa.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because if you are going to be doing to any one of these, yeah, if any one of these transfer partners are kind of your favorite, then yeah, doing these co-branded cards is good because I think, yeah. So this one earns 3 points per dollar on eligible dining, foreign transaction, Alaska Airlines, and Hawaii Airlines. So basically, if you're going out to eat, maybe you could use this as your dining card and your I'm traveling card because the 3x on foreign transactions, and then use the Palladium for everything else. That
Mhm.
could be kind of a go-to.
Yep.
That's yeah.
You
Or
can
if
also
you wanted to
just
kind of, you could do. Sorry, go ahead.
gold card, gold card. So food
Yeah.
card is American Express Gold. Just put all your food on that, and then everything else on the Palladium with the welcome offer of the gold card. I think that'll give you enough. Literally year one or year 1.5 to get whatever you want as far as like hotels and whatnot. So
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Money Man saying
also,
globalist problem solved.
sorry, I'm actually looking
You're fine.
at how many likes we have right now, bro, and we have 48, and I need all 122 of you or 130 of you to hit that like button because the Rams have the ball. Okay, they're down by 4. They're at the 50-yard line. Okay, I'm not joking. This is not a drill, people. There's a thumbs up. I need you to press it, because the more, like, if we get to over 100 likes, I promise you the Rams are going to win. And if we don't, they're going to lose. And then I'm going to be very upset with all 100 of you, 100 plus of you. Okay, thank you. That's my public service announcement.
Absolutely. Nemo's saying I already hit the like button. Thank you so much, Nemo. You're a wonderful human being.
Appreciate you. Shout out to all the Seahawks fans.
All right. Hybrid. I've rented a car to get to the hotel because it was cheaper to rent for a day, and the parking lot next door to the hotel also had a Hertz. Oh, interesting. Okay. So just do one-way rentals. There you go.
This dude needs to get banned immediately.
Tyler's saying I tried to drive through New York from JFK to Boston for a trip this past year. Took us 2.5 hours to go 15 miles in New York City. Wow, that is unfortunate.
Yep, that reminds me of when I went to New York, and it was supposed to be like a 30-minute drive, and then just, I mean, people say like LA drivers are the worst, but it's just California drivers are literally the worst, and then I would say close second is New York. So there's so much traffic, just people hitting each other for no reason.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. The Rotator Capital One gave me free Uber One for a year for some reason. I think they did with the Saver, right? I think that used to be a benefit of the Saver card for a little bit. I also see Clear is free for 3 months with Uber One. Wow. Okay. There you go. That's awesome. Let's see. Hertz as a transfer partner would be huge. 950 points for a standard day free. Interesting. Yeah, that would be kind of interesting way to kind of help pay for some of those rental cars and stuff. Yeah, I would be good with that.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got to talk about the Racketin card. The Racketin card. How does that work with Bilt system?
You get additional Forex. Hello.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Exactly, right? Yeah. Yeah. You get the 4X back. So that's, and again, as Daniel said, it's additional, right? Which means you go through the Amex or the Racketin portal, and let's say that Macy's purchase is going to be 5X. You use this card through that link, and all of a sudden it's 9X, which is kind of huge because you can also turn these into Bilt points.
Yeah, exactly. I would say the additional 4X is just so big, especially if you're shopping online. There's not that many, cards that give you 4X for online shopping unless it's very specific online shopping. So like the gold card, or sorry, the business gold card. When I bought my Nintendo Switch at Best Buy, I used the business gold so that I get 4X, right? So it's kind of a trade-off between Racketin and business gold for a lot of my purchases. However, like when GNC was 15X, I got an additional 4X on top of that, and I bought like 2 months worth of pre-workout and protein and stuff like that. And all those are now Bilt points. So it's like you're literally just like waiting on moments where the price is right. In this case, the multiplier is right. But I think when it comes to the Racketin card in general, if you don't have the ability to wait, if you need something right now, like JG Wentworth, I need this protein right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that base 4X on online shopping by itself is already as good as, the City Custom Cash, right? But the fact that you get like native Racketin points on top of that is just such a game changer. Like it's just an automatic double dip. You know what I'm saying? Just automatic double dip drip. I think we got a couple more likes because they're now at the 18-yard line. They're about to score. And now that I say that, they're going to have a turnover because that's how my life works. So, yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's all right. But yeah, I love the
BB saying, yeah, it's a good card. I love Airbnb. I transfer all my miles to airlines, never hotels. If I don't have friends or family to stay with, I put Airbnb on the green for 3X. Now that's kind of a superpower of the green card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's slowly but surely one of the cards that I'm going to be keeping forever because I'm either going to downgrade something to it and re-upgrade. But like this all travel is also just like another thing that's not heard of. Like when the Sapphire Preferred lost the 2X or 3X all travel, it was just such a huge nerf. And this is kind of like the American Express green is like, it's my time to shine, baby. You know, like it's just it's
Yeah,
so good. So Airbnb is really
it
good.
is.
Like even all of it, just 3x blanket, wonderful.
Yeah, and honestly, like I was very surprised at how I was able to use it when I traveled. And so, like the American Express green card, I wasn't able to use it in the Paris metro, but in the underground in London and the taxi system in London and eating out in London, I was able to use the green card for 3x. And as long as you're in major cities where it's kind of widely accepted that you're going to take American Express, you can definitely do some serious damage points wise with that card.
Mhm, 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 mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see, BP. But I do love those hotel credits on the Plat and the free nights on the Bonvoy cards. Yeah, it's funny. Every single time I talk about a free night on the Bonvoy cards, everyone always talks about how hard they are to use. Do you have any kind of feedback on that, or kind of ways to think about
Yeah,
these
dude, I'm gonna
these
be
free
staying at
nights?
the Ritz Carlton in Half Moon Bay for free. Hello, any questions? But that's so I guess that's
Yeah.
different. So I'm thinking of the Bonvoy Brilliant where you get the 85K cert. My
Yeah.
my Marriott business just refreshed, and I think you get like a 35K free night
Yep.
award for that. So finding somewhere that's 50K points or up to 50K points could be a little bit
Yeah.
more difficult. So I definitely see the frustration there. I almost wish that like, and I mean, maybe this happens. You never know. Marriott, you listening, you watching, what's good? I wish that they could just take the free night points and then just like deduct it from wherever you're spending or wherever you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, I can't top off 15K because it's like it's 16.5K more, you know? So it's like you can't even use that certificate and you feel like you're done, you know? So I wish they could just like deduct it if you wanted to. So it's like if you're paying 70K for a night, you just deduct the 30K or 35K and then you just pay the difference. Like I wish it was like
That
that.
would be nice.
I would
Yeah.
I can see a world where that's the case, especially with, all the devaluations and all the increases of how many more points it's taking to get places. I would imagine,
Right.
too early to call, of course, but I would imagine Marriott's probably going to rethink like what that actual FNC or FNA looks like. And they'll
hmm
probably make changes, but none of that confirmed, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I was able to use the 35,000 point free night award at the AC Hotel in downtown Huntsville this past summer. And
They just turned the ball over. Not even kidding.
oh no.
At the 6 yard line, dude. Sorry.
Oh, come on.
What happened?
Sorry.
I don't even want to watch this game anymore. What? Okay, no, I'm done. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's keep going.
All right.
Am I gonna toss my computer after this? Yep.
Oh no. But make sure you put it on the business gold when you replace it. So.
Exactly.
Calderon says he needs to hit the dislike now. Go Seahawks.
It's all your
Let's
fault.
see here. Yeah, right. How to get Switch 2 at Nintendo Store in San Francisco, but was working on a sub. Oh, okay. Let's see, Matthew. See you at the Levi Stadium for the World Cup. Okay. Also, I think I missed something somewhere. All right. Let's see. Sammy, I'm considering canceling the green, but want to see what the refresh brings, assuming they refresh it this year. Yeah. So what do you think? Is it going to get refreshed this year?
I don't think it's really gonna make a big deal if it is. I mean, hopefully they just get rid
Okay.
of clear. But
Interesting.
I mean,
Hopefully they get rid of clear.
yeah, I mean, like you have the platinum, I guess. Like I feel like the
Yeah.
clear by itself, I don't know. I think the multipliers on the card are just too broad for like all travel. I'm not sure. Like if you travel for airlines, I don't think you're using the green at that point. I think you're using the Centurion. I feel like if they maybe make something that is geared more towards like commuters rather than travelers, I think
Okay.
that would hit a market because you're already capturing a large market with the platinum card. you know.
Right.
Um, However, I mean, like, I would say I'm not the only one that dislikes the clear credit on the green card. Um, I
Right.
think I think that if they're able to, obviously, if they increase the annual fee, I'm hoping that they rethink the clear credit and offer some other things. I think that would actually be pretty interesting if they offer something with Uber. You know, I think some type of Uber
Yeah.
statement credit might be pretty cool. They already do it with a platinum, but also like I think that would be a nice kind of like combination where if you don't have the platinum, then you can use the green for like your Uber or Lyft or whatever type of transportation. But I would say it's on trend. Like they've refreshed the gold 2 years ago, they refreshed the platinum last year. So I mean, like, what's next? There's only one more
Right.
charge
Yes.
card on the chopping block. So if history says anything, then that's that.
That's true. Yeah. Background Balloon says that if the green gets a gas category, it would be fire. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Amex has a
mean,
weird history with the gas multipliers.
yeah. Do you want to know something crazy about that? Actually, so American Express
What's
needs
that?
to get their life together. American Express. I hope you're watching. The fact that you only have gas and not EV charging is just hilariously bad.
Mm.
Just hilariously bad. It is such
Okay.
a miss, like a huge miss, because I no longer have a gas vehicle, and this business goal is essentially ineffective because I get 1x on EV charging at Tesla. Like it is just, ooh man, like that is a miss. That
Wow.
is a miss. If they refresh the business goal, you need to do gas plus EV charging, and then you will win over every single Tesla charger, every single Tesla owner in existence, because Tesla is, I mean, behind Toyota and Subaru is like the number three most popular, and maybe Honda, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of Teslas around. Background Balloon is calling it green annual fee goes to 225 and we get monthly $10 in Uber and $10 in Resi monthly because Amex will Amex.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah,
It
maybe
definitely
not
could be.
Resi, maybe something else.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Resi would just be
Matthews.
blasphemous. 25 quarterly for Resis.
Right. Yeah. What was it? Oh, yeah. In the business gold, that rumor, it was saying
Yep.
$50 every 6 months for Resi. I was like, that seems like it'd be easy to use.
Yep. I'll use it right now. I'm hungry.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the Bilt kind of coupons that aren't coupons. We talked about the splurge credit. We talked about some of the things that we like about Amex and some of the things we don't like about Chase and things like that. But where do we think the future of coupons is going? Are we getting more? Are we getting less? What do we think is going to happen?
I mean, honestly, it's whatever American Express wants to do, really, because they're the ones that are the industry leaders. Right
Yeah.
now, they're playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. I think that Bilt tried to innovate a little bit in this space, and they tried
Hmm.
to kind of one up because you're not prepaying for these credits. However, I think that it's not going to work. I think that majority of folks are going to pick the points boost. So what is
Yeah,
the
that
future
makes
of
sense.
credits? Um, Damn, bro. I think the future of credits is you just get to pick what you get. I think they're just gonna have like a list of options. Like, okay,
Mm,
this is my theory. So business gold has like 8 categories where you can get 4x, right? So they'll have
right.
something similar where you can choose from 8 categories, and then you get statement credits if you spend in this category. No one, we don't
Okay.
know what the category is going to be, but like I feel like it's just like a hybrid of like the splurge credit, right?
Yeah.
With whatever American Express is doing. And I think it's going to be like maybe quarterly, maybe semi-annual. I don't think they'll be doing yearly credits in the future. I think they're going to split it up so that you can essentially be flexible and you can be variable with what credits you want and what credits you get. Um, But
Yeah.
I think that's very much aligned with kind of like what Bilt tried to do, where you could just spend money and then you could pick whatever you want because you're not going to have enough Bilt cash unless you're a quadrillionaire and you spend like $1 billion a month. Then you could do whatever you want. But I mean, when it comes to like what people actually want, I think they want to be pointed in specific directions. Like you have to be given options.
Hmm.
And I think American Express is going to figure out ways to like give people what they want, but then also make
Yeah.
it, frustrating and difficult. And you're probably going to have to jump through some hula hoops. But I imagine a world where it's no longer
Yeah.
a Lululemon credit. It's no longer Resi credit. It's no longer this. It's like you can do Rideshare. Boom, here's $50. You can do apparel. So almost like the PayPal debit card where you get to pick your poison and then that's all you get for a month and then it resets after every month, right? But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to go in a slightly different direction than you because I'm gonna follow the money, right? So I'm going to do the journalist thing. And if you take a look at the coupons, right? So the most successful coupons with Amex have been with Resi, right? Because they own Resi. They want you to use Resi over open tables, preferably, right? So that's kind of a big deal. So the first category is things that the bank owns and wants you to do, right? The second category is something that has way too much fintech money or way too much VC money and is just trying to burn cash. And so I believe that's kind of where the Uber and the Lyft credits come from, just because they have a ton of marketing. They don't really have a product other than their actual platform. So more people using the platform equals better things. And so I think there's that. And then I think honestly, and I'm going to pull up the business gold card rumor here because, well, now there's a limited time offer for the Wall Street Journal, so that's helpful. Let me refresh this page. Right, yeah. Okay, so this is interesting because it's would potentially have $300 in ChatGPT business. And basically that's where that's where these the VC funding is, right? We're in AI. So I think we're going to see more AI related credits, right? We might see Gemini become kind of on somebody else, right? So maybe Chase will take up Gemini and Amex will take ChatGPT and they'll just duke it out. I do think that it's going to be like wherever the money is, there's going to be someone that's willing to pay for more users. And it feels like the banks have kind of proven that it's a good way to get users. Walmart Plus certainly seems to be working for them.
Yeah. I almost bought something on Walmart. Almost. I was really close.
Oh, yeah? What'd you almost buy?
And, there's a camera that we're looking for, but we're just looking for the right price. And it got close on Walmart, but yeah, dude, yeah, it's tough.
Honestly, like if I did have someone that was going to college soon, like it would be hard to turn away from what was that $750 M1 MacBook Air that Walmart sells. Like it'd be hard to turn that away for like someone's college laptop, despite the fact that it is 5 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, so it looks like a lot of people are talking about how cold it is. So it's 8 degrees in upstate New York right now. New York is saying it's 28 now, but it was 18 entire day yesterday. Sorry. Tyler is trapped in Tulsa on a work trip, 11 degrees with the real feel of 6. Wow, Tyler, that is unfortunate. Hopefully you packed.
That's crazy.
For that. Yeah. All right, here's an interesting question too. RL, why do the credit card companies only cater to those who live in big cities with these coupons? Those that live in suburban, rural areas spend money too. That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think you answered the question. Big cities, more customers. Like when you think of like the market share, I think the more people that live somewhere, the more, opportunity they have to make money off of them. So if you have like a town, like if you do the math, right? Like if 10% of the industry has an American Express card or maybe 20%, like 2.5 million people in Los Angeles compared to, 250,000
Right.
people in somewhere else. Like the money is just isn't there. I'm sure that they like run the numbers and they're like, look, it's probably just too expensive to incorporate this in this town, or this place. And I would say also there's probably regulations in those areas that are preventing like entry. Like in San Francisco, for
Mm.
example, where I live, you will not find a single Walmart, period. Right? There's just too many
Wow.
regulations against big box stores, so you have to drive all the way to like Roseville, or you have to drive to San Leandro, or just like a 40-minute drive. Which, I mean, if you equate that to like Texas, a 40-minute drive, you're driving like 300 miles. But in San Francisco, 40-minute drive is you're driving like 15 to 20 miles because of the flip in traffic. Um, but yeah, I mean, there could be regulations that's just preventing credit card companies, or like just like those partnerships where, that can saturate that market. But if I were to pick like an honest answer, it's because there's not enough people that have credit cards there. Because I'm sure you can live anywhere in the world and apply for an American Express card and thank you for your service and thank you for your purchase and for your business. However, like when they look at it from like a credits and benefits standpoint, they're looking at New York, they're looking at Los Angeles, Chicago, Florida, like where there's the most
Yeah.
amount of people ever, right? Compare that to like a mom and pop shop where it's just specialty stuff, like no tea, no shade, of course, but it's like you have to cater to the many and you can't cater to the very, very specific, because at the end of the day, it's a business, it's not a charity. So as much as I would love to
Right.
have everybody win, it's just, I don't think it's feasible.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's right. I know when the gold card came out, a lot of people were frustrated with the Dunkin' credit because it features the East Coast very heavily, right? Um, and I think a lot of people were trying to say, okay, why wasn't it Starbucks? And the reason it wasn't Starbucks is because Starbucks doesn't want you to go into Starbucks thinking you've saved money by going to Starbucks. They want you to be like, this is a premium experience, right? And so throwing out coupons is never going to chase the market that they say that they want. And so, when you can't do Starbucks, where else are you going to go for a credit like that, right? You can't go to, you can't go to Tulsa and go to Roos Coffee House and get her to sign a deal. And then you can't go to Cleveland, Ohio and get Mike's Coffee House to sign the same deal. Like it's harder to find large businesses like that where you can make these huge deals in rural areas. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just too expensive. Like you can't
Yeah.
rob Peter to pay Paul, like there's just it's kind of like how Open Table is, having trouble competing with Resi because they have to pay each individual restaurant us like
Yep.
$100,000, $50,000 to get them on their network. And sometimes like the business just isn't there. I guess that's like a perfect
Nope.
example of like what restaurants are on what platform. Obviously, Resi is an American Express company. They got the funds, right? The edit or
Right.
yeah, the edit, the table, Sapphire tables, whatever it's called, I don't even know. Like that's something that's coming up. Of course, there's more and more restaurants that are being incorporated, but this is something where it's like they now have to essentially take these restaurants out of the Open Table network or out of the Resi network, and their competitors are
Yep.
making it incredibly difficult and incredibly costly to do it. So oftentimes it's like it's not even worth it, because at the end of the day, I'm also going to give you a statement credit. I'm going to pay you to go there too. Like Jesus Christ,
Right.
like there's yeah. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, nope.
And how expensive would it be, like, for some one of these restaurants to have their own reservation system either? Like, it's you have a host that's already there. Why can't they just answer the phone and take down names? Why do you have to be a part of this program, especially if you're paying for it?
Yep.
Yeah, no, those are all great questions. Let's see. Another good question from Israel is saying, why can't Amex and Chase, don't they just go back to it being more simple? I really don't understand the whole playbook. So, yeah, so why are we in this huge kind of coupon book era?
Yeah, so it's kind of like what Bilt just did. They want you to spend money. I think you said it all like literally perfectly when you're referring to Starbucks. Starbucks doesn't want you to go in there assuming that you're going to get something for free. American Express,
Right.
Chase, these credit card issuers are exactly the same, where it's like you might be able to use these credits perfectly so that you spend literally $0 on a product, but at the end of the day, like, you're still prepaying for this. Like, the entire point
Right.
of a welcome offer or a sign-on bonus is for you to spend money on the card, right? So those points are
Yeah.
not going to make everything worth it because you still have to pay it all off. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about like them generating revenue, generating or manufacturing spend. So they're essentially coming up with
Mm,
ways to entice you to spend money on the card. It's kind of
yep.
like I work for an electronic company, and Amazon obviously is like the biggest competitor. And we've had people from Amazon that would come into our store and they would say, you know why we have these sales? Do you know why? And this is if I blow people's minds, then this is what happens. But do you know why Amazon has like these computers and these products for 20% less than their competitors? Do you know why Walmart's that way? Do you know why Best Buy's that way? Do you know why Target has these sales? It's to essentially get you to go into the store and shop there.
Right.
And while
Hmm.
you're shopping there, you're like, "Ooh, I need that. Ooh, I need that too.
Yep.
Oh, they have that? Yeah, let me get that too." So, like, the 20% off of the camera that I really want, while I'm looking for it, they're gonna absolutely blast you with everything else that you need in your algorithm and your
Yep.
search history and things like that. So, you're essentially going to save $200 on this camera or computer or phone, but then you're gonna spend $300 on God knows what that you don't even need, right? And that's like
Yeah.
that's essentially where they win, where American Express gives you these statement credits and then you save money
Hmm.
here, but then you now have a 4x dining card and you're like, "Ooh, I need to make this worth it. Let's go to dinner." Right? Because this doesn't work at Costco and I'm not going to get food from there. But that's like the whole
Right.
point. They're giving you stuff for free because the assumption is you're going to put money on it, and the even more assumption is you're just going to get in debt and you're not going to pay it off. So not only are they
Hmm.
getting that business from you, but they're also charging you interest on it. And that's what a lot of like holes people are in, where like, yeah,
Yeah.
all the content creators say pay your card off on time in full, things like that. We all know that's the
Yeah.
drill, but at the end of the day, that's
Right.
not what happens. And that's where not only do you
Yeah.
have an incredibly expensive card, but now you're also accruing interest. So
Yeah. Yeah, the last card that I actually paid interest on was my Southwest Priority card, and in 2022, I paid about $900 in interest because I was carrying a balance on that one. And the Southwest Priority card should never be a card that costs anybody $900. Like that's just
yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
And so yeah, no, 100%. And the one thing that that kind of does grind my gears about when people talk about or how people talk about American Express is that people are like, oh, Amex, they just make the money on the interchange, right? They're not looking for interest money because they make enough money on the interchange. Amex has almost as much debt as like Capital One's credit card debt load. Like it's huge, and it's people that like they get the platinum card, they get the gold card for the points, because they want to go be able to fly for free, and then they just carry a balance. They put everything on the pay over time and then just pay it off. Yeah, no, 100%. Amex will take your money however you will give it to them.
Yeah, they're not your friends. No one's your friend. You are a customer. You know what I'm saying? Like
No one's your
they'll
friend.
roll out.
Just hit the like
They'll
and
roll out.
subscribe
Yeah.
button.
Literally, no one's your friend. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
That.
We're your friend. You're either there's always something great happening.
Yeah, we're all in
Yeah,
this together. High School
yeah,
Musical.
we're all in this
Yeah.
together. Oh man, that movie is too old now. But yeah. All right. So background saying the oversimplified answer is that's where the money is. Most of the money they will made by those in big cities. Yeah, that's true. If you're looking for someone who can spend a couple $100,000 in a year, most of them are going to be in cities.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's see. Because the partnerships are big bucks and employees get discounts / free stuff. Okay. Interesting. All right. Sammy, do you think Amex will make any changes in response to what Bilt is doing? Or do you think that Amex doesn't pay attention to Bilt? I feel like people will be moving spend from Amex to Bilt. This is an interesting question. So, do we think Amex is going to take anything and be like, you know what, that's a good idea?
Mm. I will say, with my zero knowledge of what Amex is planning on doing, period, if they would do anything that Bilt is doing, it'll be with their debit cards. I don't think they'll touch
Hmm.
anything with credit cards. But you know how the American Express business debit card, I think it does what, like 0.5x per dollar, right? I can
Yeah.
imagine a world where they change something with their debit card system, like how Southwest came out with a debit card, I believe. United also came out with a debit card, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine they do something similar, and then you get American Express cash, and then based off of that,
Mm.
you can get whatever you want. But
Yeah.
realistically, like if they don't do that, which honestly, like I don't think that they'll do that because that's crazy. I am a crazy person, but I think if they do, if there's anything, Bilt has just confirmed that what American Express is doing is the right way, because you had
Yeah.
probably the best card in existence. Like the Bilt 1.0 was the best card
Right.
in existence. Uncapped
Absolutely.
rent, damn near 3x on food, 2x on all travel. And all you needed to do was buy 5 flippin' bananas to keep all your rent points, like
Yep.
costing Wells Fargo tens of millions of dollars per month, right? Just like a
Yeah.
tragedy from a business standpoint, right? So it's like if that company does now what American Express is doing slightly differently, American Express is winning 100%. So they just put on
Yeah.
their sunglasses, like, who pick your favorite actor in a movie where they just had like a successful like whatever. They put their sunglasses on and they walk off into the sunset. Like that's what just happened.
Yeah. 100%. And I love that you said that about what Amex is doing, like with their checking account, because going off of the survey for the business gold card, like they had an interesting thing where you get 1x more for every single purchase, which would make the business gold card a 2x card if you did it. But you get 1x more if you pay the card with your business checking account. And so basically, like they're trying to make it so you have both things. And it'd be cool if they could actually like extend that to their personal cards too, where like, if you could get an extra 50,000 points just by paying with the personal checking account, because, they want you to have those deposits. I think that's an interesting idea. It sounds expensive. I don't know if they'd be making
Yeah.
money off of it, but it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I took the survey, and one of the questions that kind of got me thinking was I think American Express truly realizes they know that the way that business is heading now, like you can be a content creator and guess what? You're a business. Back then you had to have an LLC, you had to have a corporation, like you had to have an actual structure to do business and pay people, where now, these fintech companies that what you're talking about, it's enabling businesses to do things that they've never been able to do. What I'm trying to get at here is one of the questions was, what cards do you use for to pay your bills, to pay people, to run your business? And one of the options
Right.
was I use my personal cards. So American Express knows that, I mean, regardless
Hmm.
of whether it's a business or not, like personal people
Right.
mix business with pleasure. Like that's the end all and be all. Like it's not a perfect world, and some people set things up, but they don't set it up 100% or correctly, and they kind of just like thug it out. Like my best friend who owns a cheer gym, he uses personal cards to run his business. He also has business cards,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's something that American Express is deeply aware of, and I'd imagine that they're probably will going to be making changes, understanding that like people run their business using the personal platinum. Like that's just how it
Yeah.
is.
100%. Yeah. Exactly. There's a lot of people that I talk to. They're just like the platinum card is their go-to. Or I talked to somebody who uses the American Airlines executive card as their go-to, and it's like, dude, it's like 1x on everything.
Yep.
But that's just where it is. Yeah. So just to let you guys know, we are going to be cutting out here in a little bit more than 5 minutes, so 5-6 minutes or so. So make sure you get your questions in. I'm going to go ahead and make sure we kind of target questions. But I do want to thank Kevin for saying congratulations on the baby. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Let's see. For Bilt, is it rough not floating rent with the 2.0 change? That's another big change. A lot of people were talking about floating rent. Well, maybe let's say you get paid the first or the second week of the month. Now that's not going to be as feasible. Does that make a big change, do you think?
I mean, it completely changes everything for me because right now I'm not getting sign-on bonuses. I'm trying to slow
Mm,
my velocity down, so I'm actually paying through like my Bilt card. I've been doing that for the last 4 months now, and I think that's great. But now I need to essentially, it's just like there's so much more labor that's involved. Where before I would just Venmo or PayPal, my girlfriend the rent for everybody, and then I would just immediately I would request it back because I would just send like, not afraid to say it, $3,500 to her,
yep.
and then I would request whatever the difference was back, and then I would transfer that to my bank account, and then I would immediately pay
Yeah.
off the Bilt card. Where now it's like, how's this going to work? Okay, so they're going to send me the money. I'm going to send them the money and then request like, what? Maybe how does
Yeah.
that work? Like it's just too much involved for like them to send me the funds and then me send them back the funds. Like it's easier if I just send everything and immediately request it back because nothing is leaving their
Right.
bank account.
Right.
But if they maintain the built network to use other cards, then at that point pick your poison. Like Atmos is giving you 3x per
Yep.
dollar. United is giving you 2x per dollar. You can use your Venture X or whatever 2%, two times catch all to
Yeah.
get that. So whatever card gives you the most value, like I wouldn't even be thinking of built points for rent at that point. I would
Right.
just be looking at where am I trying to fly, where am I trying to stay, and
Hmm.
then that's going to be the way.
Yeah. I mean, it might even be worth putting at least a couple months rent on the Surpass. Just
Yeah.
because, you spend 15,000, you get that free night certificate, and those can be pretty valuable too.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Oh yeah, hybrid brings an interesting point. Yeah, I know people that believe they have to carry a balance to help their credit, and there's no changing their minds. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of really bad advice out there for beginners.
Yep.
High School Musical is a throwback. I feel love it. And James, yeah, you are my friend. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you. And New York is saying, it looks like I'll be swapping my gold Amex for Built Obsidian for this next year for most groceries as a prime example. Interesting. Okay, yeah. I definitely think that I would prefer to have 3x Built over 4x Amex. What do you think?
I mean, if you have other cards for the food, yes. Um, if you run the numbers, your own personal numbers, and groceries is the way to go, then yeah, absolutely. With it, with the value of transfer partners for Built, having a $95 annual fee card to do that compared to a
Mhm.
300 whatever 325 annual fee card, yeah, I would take that any single day. Um, so I would say that, but me looking at my numbers, like the amount of groceries that I spent last year was probably like between 2 and 3,000, and the amount of money I spent on food was just ridiculous. So I will
Yeah.
not be sacrificing my beloved gold card for that. However, like you can make the argument for the business gold. For me, that could be my
Yeah.
new food card, and then I could happily have the obsidian and get rid of my personal gold, right? Because that's where the business gold with those
Absolutely.
flexible categories, like it's a chameleon. You could do whatever you want with it. So I can definitely see the play for that. I think that would be pretty good. Now that I'm thinking about it, but I want the palladium, so I want that catch all. I think catch all is more important to me personally.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, exactly. All right. Kirby's actually has an interesting point. Build is popular right now, but Build is nothing compared to Amex card wise. Build is still a niche card. Everyone knows Amex. Maybe 2 out of 10 people know Build. Interesting. Yeah, there definitely seems to be a lot of motion around Bilt, but yeah, probably most average people don't know what the Bilt card is if you were to use it.
Yeah, not many Bilt customers even know what a coupon for credit cards is too, which is even funnier
Yeah,
because that's all they use
Servicio
it.
has an right. Yeah, Servicio says not floating rent isn't a problem for everyone. My rent was more than half my entire limit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes maybe it already wasn't an option for you.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I think that's probably going to have to do it. Everyone just kind of has some really great comments, but we're not able to get to all of them. I do want to say again, if you're already here, and there's 100 people here in the room, so thanks so much for being here. Go ahead and hit that like button. That'll help other people to see the replay. But also, more importantly, go to the link in the description below to see Card Smarter's channel. So this is Daniel's channel, and go ahead and subscribe to that one as well because he has some really great video ideas, and I think you're going to like them. Also, if you want to sign up for a newsletter and stay up to date with the latest in credit card information, go ahead and click a link in the description below for that as well. You can sign up for that newsletter that comes out every Friday morning. Thanks so much for being here, Daniel. You have been incredible as always. Really great conversations whenever you're on. So thank you so much for making the time for us.
Yeah, man, it's always fun when Seattle wins. So I appreciate everyone for liking. It was a valiant effort, but now I have to stomach seeing Seattle fans in my hometown again. I mean, it was going to be a lose-lose whether it was Seattle or Los Angeles because we don't like either as Niner fans. But so now I'm going to be rooting for the Patriots, which is just even worse. Because anyways,
Yeah.
I really appreciate being on here. It was a really good conversation. I think we had some very awakening moments for me personally. So shout out to everybody for helping inspire that. And
Yeah.
see you on the next one.
Love that. Thank you so much. And of course, special shout out. Thank you, Mike Newland, for the 20 spot. It says, thanks for the conversation tonight and good luck to you tomorrow, Phillip, and your wife. Thanks for the conversation. Okay, just a repeat. But yeah, thanks so much, Mike. I really appreciate you. You're always a friend of the channel. Just shout out to Tyler's Credit Card Tips for being a member as well. Thanks to Jason Lewis for 20 spot, and then also to MJ Tastic as well. All of you are incredible scholars and gentlemen. So thank you so much. And well, anyway, thanks so much, Daniel, for being here. Really appreciate you. And thanks again for everybody else. But that's going to do it for us because, well, I've got a class to teach tomorrow, so I got to go to bed. So thank you, everybody.